What was the conversation like with John after you drafted Dixon? He's talked about he immediately talked to both you and Pete and just kind of wanted to, kind of understand where things stood with him and everything.
Yeah, John's been so good for us, and I respect him so much. So I actually called him before we drafted him and told him we were going to do it. And, exactly what you'd expect. He just said, hey, it's going to be hard to beat me out. I'm going to give everything I got, and I'm going to compete, and let's go. So it was always a good competition, and, it's hard. You got to fight through that. And he hasn't had a lot of true competition since he's been here. And he's really performed as good as he ever has. So it's been good for him, too.
How big a deal is the holding aspect of what the punters have to do?
That's always huge. That's really part of their job. They have to punt, and then they have to make it easier for the kicker. So that's a huge part, and John's been so consistent over the years. And, Dixon hasn't done a whole lot of it, but he's very talented. He has great hands. He's caught a lot of balls, and so he's done a really nice job, too.
With the new kickoff rules, are you able to figure stuff out just in practice, or the preseason game has been really important for kind of how that's going to play?
Yeah, you're kind of anticipating how guys are going to line up, and we have to follow certain rules. But with 3 guys back, you don't know exactly how guys are going to do it. So it's really going to be interesting. The preseason is going to tell you a lot, not only about the kickoff stuff, but more where people are aligned and what schemes they're running. So we have our own ideas, and we try to study it a lot. But the preseason is going to be big. Not only for what we're doing, but for studying other people and see kind of what everyone's doing.
It's a pretty fun challenge for you and guys around the league and your job to kind of look at. There's probably some advantages to be gained if you're the one that figures some things out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's exciting. We just want to keep the kickoff in the game and make it safer, which I think they've done. And so it's going to be interesting to see if you have more skill out there, because obviously you took the wedge away, so you're going to match that on your kickoff team with more speed, and so it's going to be interesting.
What could that rule mean as far as how you guys employ your returners?
Well, you can only have 3 guys back, really, from the 40-yard line to the goal line. So there's a lot of space to cover. So instead, we've had 2 O-linemen and 2 tight ends back there and a returner. Now I think you really have to have some more skill guys to make sure you cover the field, because there could be a lot of opportunities for balls being around there and 50-50 balls and opportunities for turnovers. So I think you really got to cover the field first, and it's just going to depend on how people play it.
Would you have more than one return guy back there then?
Yeah, we've been working Carson and Penny and Lockett. We've been working a lot of different combinations back there. But also you have to have a guy that can block too. So there's a lot of different things. That's why Carson and Penny are cool. They're big 220-pound strong guys that can actually block too if they don't have the ball. One thing I've never liked, we've only had one returner back there since we've been here, is because a lot of times you get an off returner, you're kind of missing a man. You're missing an extra blocker. So we inserted the blocker up front. So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of different things you can do, and it's really going to be a lot more one-on-one blocking, which, again, is more skill guys in space.
Do you think guys are going to try some of those short kickoffs and boost kicks in the preseason just to see kind of how the scheme fits and where their sort of vulnerabilities are?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. There's a lot of different possibilities that you can do, and whether you're going to take some chances on doing that, it's going to be, everyone's going to be a little bit different. Some people might not change their philosophy at all and just kick it away and go. But you just never know. So I think the preseason, we're just going to be really aware of what everyone's doing. And some people might hold on to stuff until, they get in the regular season. So it's going to be a big study.
Brian, what have you seen from Keenan Reynolds, a guy who's really trying to make his mark in a different position from what he's been used to in college? For sure.
Yeah, it was really cool. Once he got out here, he reminded me of Baldwin when Baldwin was first out here. They have the same type of movements, and he's been great. He can return punts. He's playing PP in our punt team. And we want to see him do a lot of different things because he's a guy that can do a lot of different things. So we want to just see him in a bunch of different situations.
Looked like Myers took all the kicks today. Was just
a day rest. We're gonna try and make sure we do that for Jason too. And when the punters will take a rest tomorrow, they had 2 hard days. So as we go through, we're just gonna try and make sure their legs are fresh.
How do you anticipate the changes affecting the roster construction in general for just the way you have to approach the kickoff stuff and the guys will want to keep part of that?
Yeah, there'll probably be Pete and John will have a big impact on that, and we have to see how that develops. You just don't really, when you're talking about kickoff and kickoff return, you just don't need those big bodies anymore. And you kind of built that within the roster. So, like for us, Roos was on our kickoff return team, Sweezy way back when. So we had some old linemen that fill up that spots. Now you're just going to have to fill up that spots with skill guys. And so whether that equates into your 53, every team's going to be a little bit different on how your roster's made up. But that could be a factor for sure.
What do you see in Rashawn Penny as a returner?
Ball skills, great, and then you just love seeing him in the open field. For any returner, you first got to make sure they can field the ball, especially punt returners, and he's a natural at that. And then obviously all the things you see those great athletes do in space, that's what you want. So fielding the ball is number one for me, and he can definitely do that.
Have you gotten a sense of which units Shaquem could potentially help you out on?
Oh yeah, he's on all of them. We just got to find the right spot for him and where he feels comfortable. And we've, we tried him out at gunner on punting, we've at wing, and he's playing PP right now, and we're going to find the right spot for him. But he's definitely going to be out there.
Marcus Johnson as well. Where could he fit in?
He's been on the outside. He's been a gunner and in the vice, and he has a lot of speed. So really, that's where he's gone, and he's really had a great offseason. And he continued right now too.
Anything else? Thanks.
Good. Thanks, guys.